What's up guys, it's Justin here, and today I've got the ultimate minimalist student desk setup tour. So whether you like it or not, the back to school season is definitely upon us, so I put together a desk setup that has certain things in mind that I think the student will like. I've tried to focus on items that are versatile and can serve multiple purposes while also keeping the desk as clean as possible, because at the start of the term my desk is normally quite clean, but then it gets extremely messy. Also, if you would like to win an item featured in this desk setup tour, all you have to do is make sure you're subscribed to the channel, leave a like on this video, and drop a comment down below, and I'll go ahead and pick a winner when we hit 1500 likes. Everything shown is also linked in the description section below. Otherwise, I'm really excited to bring you this video, and I think it turned out quite nicely in terms of the aesthetic and the overall look, but let's go ahead and get started. So the centerpiece of this entire setup is the HP Pavilion 32 QHD display. At 32 inches, it is definitely the perfect size for productivity when you're trying to do your homework, but if you also don't have a TV in your bedroom, then this is also large enough to enjoy movies on, but also game. The Pavilion 32 has a 2560 by 1440 QHD resolution, which I believe is a good balance between having enough space to work with, but also being manageable for most computers. The first thing I noticed when I set up this monitor is that the colors are extremely rich. It has a 100% sRGB color space and a 10 million to 1 dynamic contrast ratio. I set this up in a room that had a window from the floor to ceiling on the entire left side of the wall, and you can see that this screen is not washed out in any way. It also has a 178-degree viewing angle as well. On the back, you're going to find two HDMI ports, a single DisplayPort 1.2, and also an integrated USB 2.0 hub with up to 2 extra ports. This monitor was a great combination with the MacBook I currently use, which is the MacBook Pro 15-inch with Touch Bar 2016 model, and despite it being very portable and having the beautiful Retina display, I still prefer to use a monitor, and I have mine connected to a monitor every single day when I do video editing especially. Apple's current official display offering, which is the LG Ultrafine 5K display, isn't exactly ideal for all situations and is definitely not cost effective. From my experience and uses with dozens of displays over the years, the Pavilion 32 is actually quite cost efficient for the caliber that it's at. Just take a look here at how much extra space I had using the Pavilion 32 display, whether it was mirroring or using it in conjunction with the built-in MacBook screen. I personally had my MacBook hooked up using a Thunderbolt 3 port and the adapter to HDMI, but for those with older MacBooks that use Thunderbolt 2 and DisplayPort, you can also get a cheap adapter from Amazon Basics that converts it straight to HDMI and works perfectly with this monitor. Although the stand looks very nice, there are a few things that I have to complain about when it comes to versatility. You are able to tilt the display from -5 degrees to 21 degrees, but a huge disadvantage is not being able to adjust the height. I would have also liked to see a cable channel on each side of the legs. Honestly though, the resolution is great, the screen size is perfect, that also allows it to double as a TV or something you use for gaming with your friends as well, and the buttons on the back made it fast and easy to switch between different modes and also change your input. I would love to give a huge thanks to HP for sending out the Pavilion 32 for this setup and also sponsoring this video. Next up, we move on to audio, and the choice I have for this video is a Logitech Z313 speaker system. With monitor being on the expensive side for students especially, the Z313 comes in at just under $35. The reason why I picked this is that you're getting a great value with a 2.1 system that has 2 speakers that go on the desk and also a compact subwoofer that goes under your table. The speaker itself is 25 watts and uses 3.5mm headphone jack to connect, and I'll say for the money you're not going to find a better value as it sounds pretty good, but the bass is a bit too punchy for my liking, and there isn't an option to change the bass alone. There's also a remote that goes on your desk for controlling volume and power, but also a port for headphones. My personal preference for a keyboard and mouse is to use the Apple Magic Keyboard and also the Logitech MX Master 2S. Those two products come in at over $200, so I decided to find something that was of a better value and has features, but also looks great with the setup. The Logitech K380 comes in at $30, but you can find it as low as $20, so be sure to check the link in the description section below. It's also very compact in size, wireless, and since it's an easy switch keyboard, you can actually connect up to 3 devices to the keyboard and switch with the press of a button. I found the typing experience on the circle keys to be tactile and overall felt pretty good, but not the best. The feel is something that you will have to get used to over a period of time if you're coming from another keyboard. The matching mouse for this setup is a Logitech M535, which is also Bluetooth and wireless, has a 10-month battery life and 1000 DPI. It looks great, it's very simple, and doesn't have any crazy features aside from being a standard wireless mouse, but for the price of the combo of the M535 and the K380, I think it's a good value overall. A product that I've seen a lot of students have are a set of wireless headphones just to wear throughout the day or in class. I've tested a ton of wireless headphones, and I can tell you that the Anker soundbuds for under $25 are the best value by far. I will admit I was quite skeptical when I first bought these because sound quality at under $25 just can't be that good. The first thing I noticed when I set them up though was that they sounded amazing and were actually quite comparable to my Apple AirPods despite them being a different type of earbud. I would describe the sound as being very balanced in general. The earbuds themselves are also magnetic at the end and made out of metal. They also have an IPX4 water resistant rating, so you could take these on a workout and not have to worry about sweat breaking them. And the 7-hour battery life should get you through a day, but there is also a micro USB port to charge at any time. The included ear tips and ear hooks worked very nicely, and from my experiences they never really fell out of my ear, and they also provided pretty good noise isolation as well. For under $25 though, I will tell you that you need to get these set of earbuds and try them out for yourself. Aside from all the main tech products though, the only other things I added were just some pencil holders and some general stationary things from Poppin, which I feel adds to the minimalist but also colorful vibe of this video. For the furniture, I've gone with a desktop that I've been using for a number of years now, and for the money, it is just unbeatable. It's overall pretty good in quality and looks great. It comes in a few different colors and sizes, and the model I have here is the Linmon desktop at a 47 by 23 size. The size that you decide to go with really comes down to the room size, but at the 47-inch length, I was able to fit the monitor and also the speakers on the table quite nicely. The legs I went with for this setup are the IKEA Krill, and I think they look very good, and you're able to use the wheels to move the desk around if you need to. With that being said, each leg costs around 4 times more than the IKEA Adils, so if you don't want to spend the money and don't think you'll be moving the desk around, then I recommend just going with the cheaper Adils legs. The last thing here from IKEA is the Risla desk pad, which is leather, and I think it just adds a nice touch to the desk, kind of blends in the color of the monitor stand with the table, but something about it just makes it feel more at home or welcoming to have that desk mat but also have some white space around it as well. At the end of the day, I'm really happy the way this setup turned out. Despite it being very simple, I think I was able to find some products that just went well altogether, both in terms of budget, but also the monitor being on the high end and serving multiple purposes. I also really wanted to show you guys what the setup looked like at night, and if you're in a dorm, for example, and don't have space for a TV, then a 32-inch display like the Pavilion 32 works great for watching Netflix and stuff, especially if you have a Chromecast, a Roku, or are using your computer. If you also want to do some gaming at this setup, you can totally do so, because at the end of the day, we're students and you work as hard as you play, so you gotta have some time to play some Rocket League or something. If you have a PS4 or something, just plug that straight into the HDMI, and on this 32-inch display, I think it looks great, especially if you're also playing with friends, because you're able to sit quite a few feet back and still get the full experience. At the end of the day, if you're going to be spending a lot of time at your setup and are doing work on it, I believe that having a setup that just really suits you and allows you to focus at it is going to pay dividends in the future, despite it being quite expensive to start with. I believe this student desk setup tour has all of the basics that you need, and you can definitely add stuff to it in the future, but I like to keep things simple to start with because I end up hoarding and my desk is normally very messy at the end of the term. If you're like me and likes to just fiddle with things that are around the desk, you want to keep it clutter-free, that way it is hard to get yourself distracted. Otherwise, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a huge like and also subscribe to the channel as I have more desk setup tours coming up. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you all in the next video.